Okay, so let's talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a new direction. This was out in the Hollywood trades yesterday. It's kind of a big deal. Coming from Boris Kitt and the Hollywood Reporter. Turtle Power exclusive. Paramount is taking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles into a new direction, developing a live-action and R-rated adaptation of TMNT, The Last Ronin. Details below. Now, we're going to get into the details. I want to check the article out, but I want to frame this for you guys and explain to you why this is so damn cool. We're in a kind of weird spot right now with fandom, nerdy things, but there's a lot of stuff that's like starting to pop off or like showing us a new flavor. Like we were just talking about Fallout. I think the Fallout show is great and it's a new flavor. You know, you got House of the Dragon, you've got Invincible, you got The Boys, you got X-Men 97, you got these different flavors of nerdy things coming out. And Marvel themselves appears to be going in a sort of darker direction, rated R, with Deadpool, TVMA for Daredevil, and potentially even pushing the PG-13, going a little bit more mature. Who knows exactly why? Maybe it's just a stylistic thing, could be a timing thing. And so you have Paramount. Enter Paramount. Now, for the uninitiated, people that don't know the lore, that aren't really big into the Turtles, you might say, wait, what the hell? R-rated Turtles? I remember those cartoons back in the day, and they were just chilling with April. It was all happy-go-lucky, and they're eating pizza and beating people up. How could you do it R-rated? That doesn't make any sense. It feels like a betrayal of the Turtles I know. Well, if you have that opinion, you're just kind of ignorant to the true history of the Turtles. Because ironically, the original black and white Turtles that those two kids made was hard R, violent as hell. So ironically, this is more true to the actual Turtles and how they started than what became popular as the Turtles through the show and through the toys and through a lot of stuff that we call commercialism. Now, one other thing that's very interesting about this story, which is why to me it's more than just R-rated Turtles. I feel that this is good, okay? And here's why. The two creators, Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird, two kids having fun, come up with a wild idea, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, right? Just having fun. Well, the story of those two is unfortunately a little bit sad. Like most things, when success happened, division, drama, fighting, these guys have a huge falling out, ugly falling out. And the Turtles IP has suffered because of that falling out for a long, long time. And this book, The Last Ronin, is those two guys finally coming together and doing another Turtle story. On top of that, don't want to go into spoilers for The Last Ronin. The reason it's called The Last Ronin is because there's one turtle left. The brothers are dead, and they miss their brothers. And a lot of people have pointed out that in some ways, Last Ronin feels like this kind of catharsis for those two kids, now much older, and the loss of the brotherhood they had. So it's like meaning on top of meaning on top of meaning. And so I love this idea. Just from concept, I love this idea. Now, let's read the article. Let's get into the detail. Live action R-rated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie in the works from producer Walter Hamada. I know for some of you that's going to be a red flag because of, his involvement in the Snyder Cut, kind of stuff. But Walter's a good producer, man. I don't know the full details of the whole Snyder thing. I obviously love Snyder, but I'm not so in love with Snyder that I'm going to deny a good idea when I see it just because he's attached. Tyler Burton Smith, who co-wrote the upcoming action movie Boy Kills World, is penning the script for this high body count tale. After the success of last year's animated hit film Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, Paramount Pictures is keeping Turtle Power going by putting a new feature project into development. This one, however, will go beyond the realm of all ages material the long-standing property is known for and instead go into gritty R-rated territory. Paramount is developing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin, adapting a popular storyline seen in the recent IDW comic as a live-action feature with the intent of making it for an R rating. Tyler Burton Smith, who co-wrote the upcoming R-rated action movie Boy Kills Kills World, and who wrote the 2019 iteration of Chucky horror franchise's Child's Play, is penning the script. Walter Hamada is producing through his 18 Hertz production company as a part of his multi-year deal with the studio. Hamada is the former head of DC Films, who rose through the ranks at New Line when he oversaw Warner Brothers' division of horror movies. This is the Conjuring and the It franchises. His 18 Hertz banner is focused on telling features in the horror genre. And Last Ronin is about as terrifying as a turtle's tale can get. Set in a totalitarian future New York City, the comic miniseries told of how the Turtles and Master Splinter are killed off one by one by the grandson of the villainous Shredder and the synthetic ninjas. One turtle manages to survive, barely, and vows to extract bloody vengeance. The trick of the book was that it wasn't clear, for a while at least, which one of the turtles lived, as the survivor had the weapons of all four. Co-creator Kevin Eastman and Tom Waltz wrote the comic based on an older story from Eastman and co-creator Peter Laird. Artists included Isao and Isaac Escorza, Ben Bishop, and Eastman. IDW publisher that holds the license for the Ninja Turtles comics put out the book between 2020 and 2022. The comics were an unexpected massive hit, with the collected trade paperback being second highest selling graphic novel of 2023 per Circana book scan. Small aside here, my guys on Unity did a lot of covers for those books. Check it out. Stan Yak, Robert Nugent, they did a lot of covers for those books. Super ironic that it's all connected. You know what I mean? It's kind of interesting. The comic book company recently released a sequel, TMNT, The Last Ronin 2, Re-Evolution, with the debut issue touted as being one of the biggest comics of the year, with more than 140,000 copies ordered. I love seeing big old numbers like that with American comics. Let's go. Ninja Turtles debuted as a black and white indie comic in 1984, parodying comics like Chris Claremont's X-Men comics and Frank Miller's ninja-focused work. A toy deal turned the comic into a generational touchstone in the late 1980s, albeit by a bright and cheerful animated series, followed by a hit live-action movie wherein the Turtles were played by actors in suits. Yeah, and the rationale for the guys back then were like, well, we don't mind. We'll just do our version of the Turtles in the comic. We'll let the toys and the show and the movie, but we'll just do our thing over here in the comics. Didn't really work out that well, but that was the rationale back then. Over the years, more animated series came at audiences like Twirling Nunchucks, while Paramount, which landed the rights to the property via Viacom in 2009, put out 2 live-action movies produced by Michael Bay that starred Megan Fox and Will Arnett in the mid-2010s. They're okay. Mutant Mayhem, produced by Seth Rogen, Point Grey, brought back a respectable sheen to the property by giving it a cool outsider point of view. Critics and audiences liked what they saw, with the animated movie grossing over $118.6 million at the domestic box office. They didn't put the million in here. So literally it says, with the animated movie grossing over $118. That's a typo and hilarious. A sequel is now in the works. IDW has relaunched the mainline Ninja Turtles comic series timed the title's 40th anniversary. Smith is rep by WME and Grandview. So, kind of crazy. R-rated Turtles. Will this become the next big franchise? I don't know. As a Turtles fan, I'm pretty damn excited, dude. I think it might be exactly what we need. And it seems like the guys are involved, right? The original creators. I also find it wild that the Turtles comic finds a revitalization, and then the studio pays attention to that and the numbers, and now they're going with it too. I think it's a really feel-good story, and I'm really excited about this. And I haven't even watched the Seth Rogen one. I know it's cool. I know people like it. I have not seen it, but I'm damn sure. Day one, I'm in the theater watching this R-rated Turtles Last Ronin. Like, are you kidding me? I'm excited, dude. So that's the update and why I am hyped.